Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jimmy and today I'm going to be doing a Marketplace app review. I haven't done too many of them on my channel, but the wonderful folks at Oboard reached out to me and asked if I would review their OKR board for Jira app. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go to marketplace.atlassian.com and we are going to search for OKR. And doing so, we see that the very first result that we're going to get is OKR Board for Jira by Oboard. That is the listing that we want. Right off the bat, just looking at what's listed here, we can see that it has a really good review rating of 3.9. We can see that they are a cloud security participant, and that Oboard themselves is actually a gold partner. None of those, I think, should have a super huge bearing on the whether you like this app in particular or not. The one thing I will note is that for anyone that is security-minded, getting to cloud fortified would be a little bit stronger of a presence right off the bat, but that is something that I'm sure they can work towards in the future. The other things worth noting is that they do have a fairly significant install size, which is awesome to see. So, the thing I want to start with, we will start on the overview tab. So right off the bat, I have watched this video. I'm not going to play it here, but it is a very good video that does an excellent job of providing an overview of exactly what the app's going to do, so that you can take the, couple of minutes that it takes to watch the video and have a solid understanding of exactly what this app is offering, which should help you decide whether it's going to help solve a number of your business challenges from a high level. If we take a look further down at the overview, they have a good job of providing some paragraphs and images outlining exactly the types of things they have. I do like that they've made it very easy to allow you to book a demo with them if that's something that you are interested in doing after reading through this. And then also the fact that if you get through everything here, they've got a good link to the fact that they also offer an app for Confluence, Salesforce, and they have an easy link to their documentation as well. Now, the one thing I really wanted to jump to, and I'm going to do that next, is the privacy and security section. This is relatively new that Atlassian has added into the marketplace, and it's for people like my company who want to put vendors through the ringer at all times and are looking for all of that, how your data is being used, privacy and security related questions. The thing that's great about this is that this is going to show what app the data is going to process, outlined very clearly here. It's going to show, how they're dealing with their security and compliance of things, outlining the exact permissions that the app's going to require as a part of doing its functions. And then, a number of information about their data controller and processor. Additionally, Oboard has filled in all of these things, so huge props on that, because this saves me having to go and try and hunt down this information or have to send in maybe a support ticket to try and find this information. I have it all clearly here. I can pass it on to my security team and they can decide whether they think that the controls in place here are good enough for us to take a look at trying it. Going over to the review tab, the only thing that I really want to look at here is just a quick sort of overview of how people are rating things. We can see that there are some very high ratings with some very good quality reviews here. We see one that's just a 3-star, but they haven't indicated why. Continuing to look, I'm not seeing anything out of the listing here that pops out as a red flag. Usually what I'm looking for is people tend to review poorly and provide details when they don't like something, or they provide a really high review with a, something like this, great support, thanks a lot. I'm just looking for those lower reviews that have a solid reason as to why, things that they didn't look, but I'm not seeing anything there, so that's a good thing. Let's take a quick look at pricing. The one thing that I always like to, and this is great, is that up to 10 users, the app is free. So if you were on one of those smaller free instances, Oboard for Jira, or sorry, OKR Board for Jira is 100% free. You can try it out indefinitely. That also means that if you have sort of a testing instance as well as your production one, your testing instance, you can install this here and try things out. You never have to worry about paying for the app twice. I think that probably does a good job of covering it. You know, the only other thing I see here is that they do offer it on a data center. Atlassian, I think you need to remove that one at this point. But yeah, I would say that looking at this listing as a whole, this looks like a solid app that I would definitely give a try. Okay, moving over to the install side, and I will admit, not only have I already installed, Oboard actually did give me a demo instance for me to show off some of these things. So right off the bat, once you get the app installed, you're going to get this nice welcome here. You know, obviously they're going to ask if you want to subscribe to their newsletter. Up to you whether you want to or not. They say about one email per month, and I will say I did check the subscribe button. I have not seen a lot of emails from them, so it's one of those things where I would encourage you to go ahead. They are not spamming you about it, but that's just my opinion. So if we go to the let's get started, I love this setup. Now, I will say this much. Booking a demo, maybe not, because I already had that opportunity on the listing. But the fact that I am being given the ability to talk to experts about getting things set up as a part of this, I do like that. Continuing on, I love that you're making it very easy for me to see your user and admin setup guides. I have watched both of these videos. Whoever Oboard has putting together these videos, you have done a wonderful job of being very clear in explaining exactly what it is that you're trying to do. So if you are an admin, please read that admin guide or watch that admin video. It's definitely worth it. Use a guide. It's 2 minutes long. You're not going to waste much of your time just understanding how to get started. Okay, so where I think I want to start is if we go to the actual app itself, and we're going to start in the workplace settings here. So the first things I want to comment on is if you click on the workspace, you can see what groups are there by default, the users and the intervals. Intervals obviously being for the date timeframes you want. Users and groups, I think, are pretty self-explanatory there. And, you know, we can expand these groups and actually manage the users. And I believe we can actually nest some groups underneath there if that's something you're interested in doing. Beyond that, the other things that I like that I want to show are, you know, we've got our OKR levels. So, you know, your company, group, your personal. Looking at labels, we can add labels. I don't have any yet because we just installed this. Under company settings, you know, there are things that are all about the hierarchy, setting up your dashboard and your homepage, as well as your grading approach. And then obviously there are some personal and sync settings, which, you know, I haven't defined yet. So if we leave that for a second, and then we go back to the home, you know, we're going to see something that looks pretty similar like this. I'm just going to switch it back over to the demo instance here, because there's a bit more information in this one here. So again, I don't have anything, but if we go to the objectives, you can see a nice display here with a hierarchy of the objectives that are underway, as well as sort of the nested projects underneath and the status that's happening for these. In my opinion, I don't have any assigned to me, but you can see those that are assigned to my group, which I think is great that you have the ability to look at that sort of a level. Looking at the dashboard, you know, we're going to see a bunch of statistics on the where we're at as far as the various objectives for a time frame that is specified. All of this is great in my opinion. I think that looking at this, what I love about this is that it has a feel of Jira Line. without a lot of the roadblocks that would stop you from being able to start with Jira Align. I know one of them being cost. It is a rather expensive app to get into. This is a much more affordable way to get started at that type of level of offering the transparency and the reporting at the management level without necessarily the price tag associated with it. So overall, I would say that I think OKR Board for Jira is definitely looking like something that you would want to invest in if you are outgrowing advanced roadmaps and you feel like you need that next level of information to show to your leadership team, but you just aren't at the point at which you have projects configured in a way that would enable Jira Align, or you have the ability to take on the price tag that would be associated with Jira Align. So in conclusion, if you are looking for a Jira Align-like experience without the price tag that's associated with it, I would highly recommend you check out OKR Board for Jira by Oboard. I think they've done a wonderful job of putting together a solid app at a reasonable price. And in speaking with them, they seem as though they are very open to customer feedback to help drive the roadmap of how this app is going to function in the future. And with that, I appreciate you watching this video, and thanks for stopping by.